I got that Dirty Jersey song in my head the whole fucking day. Dirty.
Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song. Thanks for bringing me in on this. I appreciate it. I like this.
Maybe this is something you can cover if there's no stuttering John content for a while, because people love true crime.
Let me tell you something. Based off of last night, people loved us covering Hervé from Fantasy Island, the little guy from Fantasy Island. That was fascinating.
What made you want to cover that?
Somebody sent us. Somebody found us a clip of him on the old Merv Griffin show singing a song, and him and Merv had a little interview, and it's fascinating. If you know his life story, like. Remember that True Hollywood Stories they used to do, right? So his is trippy, man. His is like he was a huge womanizer. He's getting laid left and right. Every day was Fantasy
midget,
Island,
right?
Yeah,
he's that weird-looking midget from Fantasy. I mean, I was pretty young when that show was popular, but it's just weird.
Let me tell you something. Dude was a deal closer. Deal closer. Yeah, he. I mean, women just threw themselves at this guy. It was crazy. But it was very fun to watch, and I love old stuff like that, old showbiz.
Judy gets super tips. You don't need the voices. Actually, I like the voices. It's really funny, especially with the Mexican accent. I mean, I know it's not politically correct, but it still makes me laugh.
Well, that's why it's funny, because it's not politically correct.
Thanks for having our Shuli. That's nice. You have some nice fans out there.
We have the best. We do.
Miss Judy, do you think John's IQ is really 160? I think people have asked me that before. I don't think so. Yeah. And
all right, what about 130? You think he's cracking 130?
I don't think so. I don't even know, but what's an average IQ? Something like
Well,
90?
I think Einstein was 130 or 160, so if that helps gauge anything.
Well, I'm sure if he would just stop drinking and doing drugs, I'm sure he would come across more intellectual. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Okay. They should have hired Hitman Dan. Yeah, someone more competent than Sigfredo Garcia and Luis Rivera. Yeah.
Yeah, John sent a Hitman Dan to one of my comedy shows in Long Island to threaten me a while back.
Why?
Well, Dan was told by John that I go on stage and make jokes about his family, which I don't talk about John at all when I'm on stage, because having to explain it and the situation, and it's way too much setup for not enough payoff, right? And so I'm doing this show in Long Island at, I think, McGuire's, and all of a sudden, this dude shows up with a cane, and he's limping, and he's like, "You Shuli?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Might be smart if you stop talking about John." And I'm like, "Excuse me? You know, don't go up there making jokes about his kids." Like, I don't make jokes about his kids. Who told you that I did? John? He's like, "I'm just saying." I go, "So you came here to threaten me?" He goes, "Well, I'm not threatening anybody. Nobody's threatening anybody. I'm just saying, you know, might be wise for you to not do it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, thanks, appreciate it." And then he limped out and left. And that was that, and that's something John still denies to this day. He goes, "I didn't ask him to go down there. He went down there on his own."
That's a good impression. That's very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you didn't feel any real imminent threat of being assaulted then, if this guy presents as like an older person using a cane and stuff. Probably sometimes people are just mentally
Well, if it isn't Miss Judy, or Rudy, I should say. Hello, Rudy.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Sko?
No, you are not feeling great because your channel your show just got taken down yesterday. Whatever shall you do today?
They only take down the best, Miss Rudy. That's why. They can't handle what I have for them. I'm going on a fight tour. Who wants to fight me? Skull!
Okay, well, maybe this will be the time that he has to reach out to Vince, because Vince can help him get his channel up and running on Rumble or get it back on YouTube.
Well, my headphones fell off. I missed what you said, Jim.
Okay. I was saying this is the perfect opportunity for John to reach out to Vince again, because he'll probably need Vince's help in figuring out what to do with YouTube and how to transfer his show to Rumble or some other platform. Because this is a significant source of revenue, it seems.
Let me tell you something, Judy. The only thing more psychotic than the relationship between Wendi and the mom is the relationship between Vince and John. And those two will always be together. They are madly in love with each other. Vince has no purpose in life without John. And John has no beer in life without Vince. So the two will forever be together.
Huh. Yeah, like some sort of weird couple where they know they still need each other. So they're never going to totally sever ties. Yeah. But it creates some fun drama. You know, that's entertainment, right? Like you could say that maybe behind the scenes they're cool with each other, but on the screen it's all for, you know, made up conflict and laughs.
Yeah. I mean, Vince has always tried to kind of be in the spotlight based on stupid people. You know what I mean? Like riding the coattails of idiots. So, and hey, you know, everybody's got their claim to fame. It's all good. You know, I'm not judging anybody, but that's kind of his thing. So he's got a real winner with John. And so he's holding on tight, you know?
Yeah. Well, just to give a plug to another fellow YouTuber, Vince actually presents as a fairly normal, likable person when he's on Mondays on this other podcast called, what is it? Oh, I forgot. Samantha Benigno's podcast. What is it? Like, I'm not there anymore, or something like that. What the heck is it called? See, it's too long of a name that I can never remember. Oh, it's called I Don't Belong Here podcast. So her father is some famous New York radio broadcaster. I forget his name because I never heard of him, but maybe somebody will throw that in the chat. So when I saw him on Samantha's show, I was like, you know, he can actually act sort of normal. This is bizarre. Like he wasn't throwing sexual innuendo every other sentence and being disgusting. Like, hey, do you like 69ing? Have you ever 69'd? What's scissoring? Have you ever scissored? You know, like all sorts of like disgusting things that turn off the true crime ladies. So.
Right.
So later I told him, see, you're so racist because on my show, you come in acting all disrespectful and chase away my loyal subscribers, but then you go on Samantha's show and you show her some respect. But I think it's also because she's the daughter of this person that he respects, and he's supposed to be the guest tomorrow. Yeah.
Well, I wish him all the luck in the world.
Yeah, that... Sometimes he can turn it off and seem like a respectable person. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Craig. Thank you, Nomad. How funny is it that dirtbag SJ got struck? Haha. Yeah. How did you feel when you found out about that?
You know, I feel like I've always felt karma's a real thing. And, you know, this guy sitting up here threatening people's channels, going after people's channels, trying to take them down. There's days where we've had 3 strikes in a row filed by him, literally trying to nuke our channel. I don't feel sorry for him. I don't feel, it sucks that we're at this stage of things here, because at the end of the day, it's all just supposed to be ball busting and fucking around with each other. Some people can take it, some people can't, and the people who can't are doing this. The problem is you now have painted yourself into a corner. So now people that don't like you see you running around doing victory laps about taking somebody's channel down. They're unfortunately going to try and do the same to you. It's now a challenge to these people, and it's stupid, but it's where we're at right now. you know?
Yeah, and you had nothing to do with it, right? Like people said it was because of him threatening Tukey.
Let me tell you something. This dude, like I said, has struck us over 30 times since mid-November, okay? If and when I decide to strike him, there will be no mixed messages about this was taken down because of, you know, Amanda Hug and Kiss. It will say TSN. It will say this has been taken down by the Shuli network. I have no problem in hitting him back and letting him taste what it's like to be on the receiving end of this bullshit. And I don't, you know, I haven't had to do it. So whoever's done it, there's been a lot of people that have taken credit for it. Whoever did it because they had enough, apparently. And I would say maybe he learned his lesson from this, but I've been covering the guy for a while, so he has not learned his lesson. And
yeah. And speaking of doxing people, so people said that he was doxing Lucy, Typebox, and myself, and I didn't see a lot of it because, like I said, sometimes the show is just so boring. I can't stand it anymore. You know, just turn it off. I have more productive things to do. But you know, later I did hear him say my last name. So I have to give him also props for sort of knowing how to pronounce my last name correctly, because most people, including myself, to make it easier, I just tell people the wrong way to pronounce my last name. So he did a little bit of research there. Yeah, so it's just like, okay, you know, you can insult me and call me what did he called me also, like a dumb fuck and a fucking idiot, and you know.
Can I ask you, as a lawyer, as an attorney, is it a smart thing to do to dox someone who's a witness in a lawsuit? Is it a good look, I guess, is a better question?
It doesn't look good, but there's nothing illegal about it. I mean, especially if she did an affidavit for the lawsuit, which is public record. So
well, it was redacted. It was not.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Certain information was redacted, much like on John's affidavits. So I was just curious as to, you know, how that might be perceived.
I mean, it's not ethical, but there's nothing really illegal about it, because to me it's like, well, I am who I am, and thank God I don't work for a law firm or some major corporation or government entity. So, you know, if people want to contact me for legitimate reasons, like if you have some sort of legal problem in North Carolina, then that's fine. I'm out there. So, yeah, as long as people aren't going to do something totally crazy. Yeah.
Always easy.
Okay. Mike Morse called you a yellow kazoo. Thoughts? Well, I mean, that's funny.
He did not.
Well, if he did, that's funny because, you know.
It's like, Mike Morse. He's better than that. He can come up with better. No, actually, I think he did. There's a YouTuber that we know, Yellow Kazoo, who came on our show. I told you about this show. We do The Raid, where we find other small YouTube shows and we pop on and introduce ourselves. And so we found this woman, Yellow Kazoo. And I think somebody mentioned, get Yellow Kazoo back on the show. And he goes, we'll reach out to Judy.
No, I mean, he is really a comedic genius, because I was just thinking about that today, that it's really hard to do comedy right in the written form. So he wrote all the time for these magazines. And, you know, you have to have lots of knowledge of pop culture and
well, not just magazines too. He writes for comedians. Like you know, when a lot of, you know, Lisa Lampanelli, a lot of the roasts she used to do on Comedy Central, he would help her out with roast stuff. When comics go on certain talk shows and they give him a list of topics, he helps write jokes for that. He's still known in the comedy world as a go-to guy to help out with stuff. He's as much as I hate to say it, he's pretty brilliant.
Ah, okay. So how do you get him to be on your show?
Let's just say I have some photos, compromising sort, and we used to do a show back in the day on Sirius called Miserable Men. Myself, Mike, Bob Levy, and we ended up not doing that show anymore for a while. And then when we started podcasting, We brought Miserable Men back first. Then we started doing Uncle Rico. And Mike's been a part of stuff ever since. Mike's just one of those dudes that, like, if I have an idea for something, I'm like, Mike, could you do that? And boom. And half the time, you don't even have to ask. Mike's coming up with songs and bits and games.
Yeah, it's amazing.
He's brilliant.
Yeah, the creativity and stuff. I'm like thinking, isn't he too big for this stuff? You know, like making fun of Stuttering John and all that.
Yeah, we all are, but we enjoy it. And we get to hang out together. So that's what counts, you know?
Yeah. And why is it called Uncle Rico?
So there's a character in Napoleon Dynamite, the movie, his whose name is Uncle Rico. It's his uncle. And it's a guy in his 40s who is still wearing his high school football jacket, and he's just stuck in the past. And he's never moved forward. So that's why we decided to call it the Uncle Rico Show.
Oh, okay. Is it because John reminded you of the character, or was it?
Yeah, he has not moved on. He, you know, he's still living in that past. You know, he's at one point in the movie, Uncle Rico says, "I bet I could throw this football over that mountain." You know, and it's like, you can't, but that's the way he sees himself, and
makes you get through life to still relive your glory days. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Super B Smith. Yeah, it's just that there's always something to laugh about, you know, like people shouldn't take themselves too seriously or get easily offended or something. You know, we need more humor to cope. Just as John said, they should call it the Copaverse. Yeah, like we're all a bunch of losers that need him and we revolve around him. And we should call it the Copaverse. Okay, hi, Shuli, Miss Judy, F. John for what he said about you. He does hate smart women. Yeah, it's so bizarre. This is like rapid cycling bipolar disorder or something, some sort of disorder where one moment he's like singing my high praises. Then the next show, it's like he's calling me names and cursing at me and making up stories saying I didn't do any research before I did my live with the law professor. That's not true.
It's why it's so enjoyable for everyone watching is because it's a car crash we all see coming, except for the person who's in the car with John. Whenever John makes a new friend, it's always the same thing. Thank you, love you.
Yeah, you're beautiful. The most beautiful woman I've ever seen.
Let me fly you out, you know.
Bang you on top of the Eiffel Tower.
And it's always like, I'll never turn on you. And all of us are just setting the clock. We're just going, all right, let's all watch this and wait for when the turn happens. And it always, always happens. Always.
Yeah, what's bizarre is that when I did that show with Professor Patuto, our intention was not to make fun of him or to bash his lawsuit or, you know, just to ridicule him. We were trying to be objective and sort of professional about it, but he still took it as a personal slight.
Because you guys didn't come on and say, John has an excellent chance of winning this case. That's what he's upset. It has nothing to do with the amount of research you did, which, by the way, fuck you, John. Like, these people take time out of their lives to look at this stupid, idiotic lawsuit. The fact that they sat through 10 minutes of research is impressive, much less any more that they could have done. But it's never enough for him unless you agree flat out, you echo his fucking talking points. That's the only way you do things right. And if you veer from that in any way, shape, or form, how dare a professor of law have questions, right? Like who the fuck are you, John? Like, let these people break it down. You don't like what they hear? Okay. Too bad. That's life. There's shit we all hear we don't like. We move on with our lives. We don't declare a fatwa on Miss Judy and Professor Joe.
And start resorting to cursing, name calling.
Yeah, he's a fucking child.
Insulting people. Yeah, it is pretty bizarre. But once again, I was just laughing the whole time. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe somebody actually acts like this. Is this an act? Like, is he just doing it to get more views and clicks and super chats, or is he really that incensed? You know, because most people would think like, okay, I should talk to my attorney about this. Let me schedule a consultation with my astute attorney who knows the law better than these two idiots on YouTube. And, you know, we'll talk about my case and the strategy and go over the case law or something, you know? So anyway, it was funny though. It's all, to me, it's still all in good fun because I'm not physically there with him. But there are times that he does seem like he's borderline violent.
Well, and I'll tell you one thing, that Professor Joe is not somebody I would want to test. So if John, you know, John better keep his yap shut because Professor Joe doesn't look like she takes any crap from anybody.
Yeah, she would probably just smile at him and nod her head and say something very professional and not sink to such lowbrow name calling and cursing.
Yeah, I got to try that sometime.
Oh, do you have to go? I'm sorry. Why do you always... Okay, once again, I don't mean to insult you, but you always look like you're like sinking down into the corner of your screen. Why is that?
Well, because it bothers you, so I've been slowly
So you keep
melting.
doing it then.
Yeah. I've been slowly melting this entire show,
like,
waiting for you to notice.
The YouTubers are not supposed to just like stick their head in a corner.
Hey,
you know?
Judy, when you get super tips, then you can lecture me on how to broadcast.
I can give up my career to do a podcast all day. Okay, yeah, actually, we do have a date scheduled to be with Kaylee, which is Monday, February 9th, 5 o'clock.
Is this better, Judy?
Yeah, a little bit, but you're still not in the middle. You should be in the center.
Judy, my high school dropout story. Don't you know, I march to my own drum. I go my own direction, Judy. You can't... I know you want to put a saddle on this stallion, but you just can't tame me, Judy. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. And all due respect to your wife, right?
Yes,
okay.
absolutely.
So yeah, we'll be on next Monday. Not tomorrow, but February 9th with Sheeterson. And I'm so...
I love it.
Thrilled to, you know...
Brilliant.
Possibly be on her podcast with him.
If I can just say, that is one of the coolest things about the Dabbleverse is running into all these really brilliant people that are so talented in so many different fields, and seeing them put in their time, effort, energy into something so stupid. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, we all have to have our hobbies, right? I love that little, what was that little movie? Did you have something to do with making that movie that just came out?
Which movie? The dummy one? No, but the gentleman who did make that, Seth Martin, is a big TSN fan for many years. He's a brilliant artist, and he put together our little intro at the very beginning with the John puppet. He did all that himself for Rico, and he made that, and it's unbelievable.
Wow.
Hands are nervous about it because John knows at this point, when we shut the faucet off, it's all going off. John needs us to talk about him more than we need John to talk about us.
Yeah, because then he has something to react to. I mean, what else is he
Well, and then he
to
makes
talk
money.
about?
Then he makes money. What we've established is we can make money not talking about John. Can John say the same? I think not.
Okay. Okay, thank you. You're one hot piece. That's nice, given how old I am. So, Shuli, tell Judy high-pitch history. Skull. You mean high-pitch Eric?
Yeah, I mean, when you say history, like that's a lot. It's a lot. What specifically do you want me to tell her about high pitch?
I mean, did you have interactions with him?
Oh, sure.
Was he on the show with you? Because I don't know the whole history of all this.
Yeah, so when I did like the news thing, when I was a news reporter for Howard's news team, my beat was the Whack Pack. My beat was all those guys: High Pitch, Eric the Actor, Beetlejuice, all the Whack Packers. I kept tabs on all of them, kind of the conduit between them and the show, and feeding the show stories and clips and whatever is going on in their lives. So High Pitch was definitely a guy that I spent a lot of time with. He's a trip.
So, do you feel that Vince took advantage of him? Because from the comments, I get people saying that Vince was bad or mean to him.
I mean, I don't, you know, Vince is just a fucking weird dude, and he always takes things too far, and then he'll turn to you and be like, "What's your problem about it?" Like it's your fault, and it's like, all right, it is what it is. He wired High Pitch's apartment with cameras. High Pitch was making money from it. I'm not going to deny that, you know, but again, when there are times where High Pitch wanted it to stop, it didn't. So, but Vince has also showered him with gifts and taken him to Yankee Stadium. This is what he does. He takes mentally ill people and he attaches money to their lives, and then they are connected to this guy for a long, long time. So his new High Pitch is John. That's who he's been working on for a while.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Mike Morse wants to do things to... Oh, come on. I'm sure he's very professional.
He is, but he's also a freak.
Really? Okay, well, I don't know much about him. So if it's not John, TSN is making fun of obese or mentally challenged people. Shuli, you're not a good human. Not at this time.
Oh, what happened? You don't like jokes about obese people? This is what's funny, is these people now police what's right and wrong. Meanwhile, they're just as guilty of saying horrible shit about people, but now they're going to show up like the morale. If you don't like us watching videos with heavy-set people and making jokes about it, don't watch Reverend Rage.
And it's also like, then who can you make fun of them?
Right.
Because a lot of comedy is not politically correct.
Keep
it's
drawing
supposed
lines.
To be shocking.
Yeah, this is John. He is against free speech. He is against the First Amendment, and everything he does proves that, along with his people. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Barnes and Noobs. Just for the record, Dummy called you a stupid fucking fuck again, showing off his lightning quick wit. Well, I did see that clip, and it seemed like he was struggling to think like what to call me, but good on him for not calling me racial slurs. So that much I appreciate. Thank you, John.
It's coming. It'll arrive at some point.
Biting your tongue.
That's my guess.
Although I'm sure in his head he was thinking a lot of those racial slurs.
Oh, yeah.
Confucius say, she who kissed stuttering John only left with snot on face. Skull, Shuli.
Skull, skill rules. Good to see you.
Thank you for that laugh. Shuli, have you told Judy about Isolina? Why not? Well, that hasn't come up, but...
I'm sure Vince has filled her in on everything.
No, not really. But from what I've read, he's in prison for kitty corn, right? Okay.
Bad shit, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean...
Right, but people like him and John and Vince and others have, for the last, 2.5 years, tried to somehow tie me into that. That is their goal. Again, the guy lecturing about making fundamentally challenged people has no problem mocking a horrific crime against children in order to somehow hope and pray that I am tied in with this, which is disgusting. So that's where they're at.
You broke my heart, Dirty Jersey. You broke my heart. Mainly by including Granny. That's my main issue.
You know what? You weren't. I know that your ass was not going to bring this up.